Hello again, boys and girls. So we are still talking about answering questions using inferences, okay? So I'm going to read you one of my favorite stories. And the reason I love this story is that there are so many times in the story that you need to make an inference. And we know that inferences are what the story tells you and what you already know. So whenever we're reading this story, I'm going to stop and I'm going to tell you what I know already and what the story tells me, and we can make some inferences using this story. All right, I'm going to make me bigger so you can see. Okay. All right. The story that I'm going to be reading today is Where the Wild Things Are. Where the Wild Things Are. It's a great story. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. And another. Now, right there, boys and girls, the author didn't tell us what mischief he was doing. We had to look at the pictures to see that. That's inferencing. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. Doesn't look too happy. So, in my chart, I wrote down that Max was sent to bed without eating anything. So, why would you be sent to bed without eating anything? What could be a reason? If you're in trouble, right, you could be sent to bed without any supper. So, I think my inference is he's in trouble. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew, and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. An ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." So for these next few pages, boys and girls, look at the pictures and see what they're doing during the wild rumpus. Looks like they're howling at the moon, swinging from branches, climbing trees, piggyback rides. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. and sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. Okay, so let's look at the chart that I made. What happened in the story, I wrote Max was sent to his room without eating anything. And I said that sometimes people are sent to their room when they are in trouble. So my guess is he got in trouble and he was causing mischief, right? He was causing mischief. Woo. Causing trouble. Okay. So, he got in trouble, and that is why he was sent to his room without eating anything. Do you all agree with that? That's my inference. That's what I think. And then at the end of the story, we have to make another inference because it said his supper was still hot. So, boys and girls, it said that he sailed in and out of weeks, months, over years, over a day. If he was really gone that long, do you think his supper still would have been hot? No. So what could be a reason that his supper was really hot? Do you think that stuff really happened? What could have happened instead? I think my inference is it was a dream. And the reason, what I already know, his supper couldn't stay warm for weeks and years. And also, his room couldn't really turn into a forest. Alright, so my inference is it was a dream and he woke up and his mom had put his supper in his room. So we can add that too. His mom put his supper in his room. Alright, and then in your journal this week, boys and girls, what I'm going to have you do is you are going to write 3 clues or sentences after you draw a wild thing. So you are going to draw your own wild thing and you're going to write 3 hints as to what they look like. But remember, you're not telling people what they look like. You're giving them a hint. So I'm going to show you my example. So the color of my wild thing, I said, I look like I am dressed for Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's Day, what kind of colors are there? If you said pink or red or purple, then you're right. So you know my wild thing is probably what color? Pink or purple or red. I said my eyes can see very far away. So what might my eyes of my wild thing look like if they can see very far away? I either have glasses or they're really big. That would be my inference. My mouth, I said I can eat anything because of my teeth. So what kind of teeth? Do you think I have flat teeth or really big, sharp teeth? Really big, sharp teeth, right? And for my legs, I put I can't run very far. So what kind of legs do you think I have? Probably short, stubby ones, right? And for my arms and my hands, I said, you wouldn't want to shake my hand. I might scratch you because I have really big, what? Claws. So do you see how these are just hints? I didn't tell you. I just gave you a hint. So when you are writing your 3 sentences, I want you to do the same thing. Now, you can pick about the color, the eyes, the mouth, the legs, the arms. Just tell me which one you decide, okay? And don't say my wild thing is pink, because that's not a hint. That's just telling them, okay? So make it into like a riddle and have fun with it, all right? So do you want to see what my wild thing really looks like to see if it's true? Are you ready? I'll make it bigger. This is my wild thing. So I said it looks like I'm dressed for Valentine's Day. So I'm purple and pink and red. And then I can see very far away, so my eyes are big. I said that I can eat anything because of my teeth. There are my teeth. I said you wouldn't want to shake my hand because I have pointy claws. And I can't run very far because I have little tiny legs. So you are drawing your own wild thing in your journal. And then I want you to write your clues, okay? So in your journal, you're going to write journal 3, and then you have 1 clue, the 2nd clue, and the 3rd clue. And then if you want to draw your wild thing on the other side of this page, you can, okay? Or if you want to draw it below or above, you can do that. But make sure you draw your wild thing first and then do your clues. And you could make it look like whatever you want. And then we'll try to guess what they look like. I'll let you all share some in small group, okay? All right. Have fun with this. I hope you all have fun doing inferences. And have a good day.